And we are back, folks, here on WrestleRant. I'm Graham G.S. Matthews with another review from the WWE Network, and today we're talking about the 2015 Payback pay-per-view as seen on the network. So, I know I got my dates mixed up here. I reviewed the 2015 Extreme Rules pay-per-view before the Payback one. I know Payback was earlier this year and Extreme Rules was later. That was just the way I set up the schedule. But beyond that, though, I will mention this from the get-go. After today, we will be reviewing Vengeance pay-per-views as seen on the network. So 01, 02, 03, 04, 05, 06, 07 I talked about when I did my Night of Champions reviews back in 2014. So not the 07 show, but I think that was the last one. So 06 and then the one-off one from 2011, which was not good, but I'll be talking about that one too. So over the next couple of weeks. That's something to look forward to here on WrestleRant. But let's get right down to a Payback 2015. I thought it was a really, really good show on the whole. I think I got back from school, got back from college like the week before this, and I was busy that day. I don't know, just something about this show resonated with me. I think I watched Raw the next night with John, so I don't know, it was a really good time to be a wrestling fan at that time, and we had TakeOver that Wednesday. Just a great week in wrestling. But kicking off the show, anyway, enough of my ranting. So kicking off the show, Sheamus and Dolph Ziggler in a really, really good match, as one would only expect from these two. Coming off of their match at Extreme Rules, where it was a Kiss Me Arse match, and Sheamus won, or rather Dolph Ziggler won, and Sheamus low-blowed him anyway, so kind of not fulfilling the stipulation. He would fulfill the stipulation in this match, and I think Ziggler had Sheamus kiss his ass at one point in the match, and it's kind of making up for the stipulation that was not given to us, thankfully, at Extreme Rules the month earlier, or the month prior. But other than that, a really good match. Ziggler looked good in the feet. The first half of it was a pretty standard Sheamus-Ziggler match. The final few minutes were very fun. Sheamus scores the victory, as he should have. He was the bigger priority. He would go on to win the Money in the Bank briefcase the following month, so he was the bigger priority coming out of this anyway. So good match. Sheamus wins. After that, for the WWE Tag Team titles, a 2 out of 3 count falls match between the New Day and the former champions Tyson Kidd and Cesaro. Another great match. I think when I did my top 25 matches of 2015 for Bleacher Report last year, I put their match from Extreme Rules on there and not this one. You know, watching this one back, I thought this one was better. I thought the Extreme Rules one was really, really good. I thought this match might have been better. I mean, I guess you could really go either way, but I thought this match was great. And my only real gripe about it is that it went as long as Sheamus and Ziggler, which makes no sense. And I talked about this before. I thought that's why Samoa Joe and Sami Zayn a couple months ago in NXT was so great, because a 2 out of 3 count falls match should feel like 3 matches in one, not, 3 matches squeezed into the span of what one match would be. That just makes no sense to me. So Tyson Kidd and Cesaro winning in like 4 minutes I thought was really illogical. And then New Day scoring the second victory, or scoring the second fall, rather. But other than that, I mean, that's my typical, ranting with just about any 2 out of 3 count falls match. But that aside, I thought this match was really, really good. New Day in the end scoring the victory with a bit of a clever finish, albeit questionable, if only just because it was Baltimore, and that was where the whole Baltimore riots broke out, literally weeks before the pay-per-view. And I just thought it was very odd timing, because Xavier Woods snuck in, and then he scored the win for Kofi, and it was kind of spurred this whole thing. It's like, because they're all black, did that have anything to do with it? The fact that the referee didn't see that it was Xavier, not Kofi. So, I mean, it really wasn't as controversial as I thought many people would take it, which was strange. It was kind of forgotten about the next day. I just thought that was really not even racist. I just thought it was funny. But, yeah, anyway, bottom line, New Day is still the WWE Tag Team Champions after this match. A really, really good match. After that, Bray Wyatt versus Ryback in a match that really kind of came out of nowhere. They started feeding right after Extreme Rules, and that was pretty much it. They had a whole video package for the feud, but again, in retrospect, it just made no sense, because Bray Wyatt won here. I thought the match was better the first time, then watching it back, it was kind of dull. It was just kind of there. Bray Wyatt wins, as he should have, but then he's not in the chamber match, the IC title, 2 weeks later, and Ryback wins that one. So why didn't we get Wyatt and Ryback for the IC championship coming out of that show? That didn't make any sense to me. But anyway, I thought the match was all right for what it was. It was, just kind of there. Bray Wyatt wins. So a good win for Bray Wyatt. A rare, not even a clean win, but a rare singles win for Bray Wyatt on pay-per-view without any help from the Wyatt family. That was before they reunited later that summer. An I Quit match in the United States Championship up next between John Cena and Rusev. Another really good match in these two. I don't typically enjoy. They gave them the worst possible stipulations for this feud. I thought the Russian chain match was basically a strap match, which are always awful. I never like those matches. That was pretty good, though, at Extreme Rules. The I Quit match, again, I do not like I Quit matches just because, do you want to quit? No. Do you want to quit? No. Do you want to quit? No. It's like, that's what I talked about in my Over the Limit 2010 review like a week ago. It's just so unbearable to listen to. But thankfully, they made up for it with the action outside the ring. They went hardcore a little bit, not like burning tables and barbed wire bats and shit, but they took it to the next level. I thought it was a good match. In the end, John Cena won. A weird this is another thing I don't like about these type of matches, is that John Cena's passed out, okay? But the whole point of the match is to make your opponent say I quit because it's, humiliating, and that's the whole point of the match. I kind of get that. But what if John Cena passes out or he's dead? So let's say Rusev kills him. Technically, Rusev doesn't win because Cena never said the words I quit. That's so stupid. That's stupid. And then the finish. Again, I didn't really like the finish. I thought it was interesting, I guess. So Rusev is locked in the STF. I think Cena is like choking him with a rope or something. I don't know. He has him in the STF, and he's yelling something in Bulgarian or Russian. I'm pretty sure it's Bulgarian. So anyway, he's yelling something. Lana's going fucking berserk at ringside. She grabs the mic and said, "He quits. He quits. He quits." And the referee rings the bell. I thought he had to say I quit in English. He has to say the words I quit. And the whole storyline the next night was that Rusev never said I quit. Lana made that up just because he didn't want to see him in pain. It made for a decent story coming out of it, even though that story sucked too between Rusev and Ziggler and Lana and Summer Rae and that whole fucking mess of an angle. But Rusev is supposed to be the one who says I quit in English, not Bulgarian. That doesn't count. It doesn't count. The whole point of it is for him to say I quit. So I thought that was really convoluted, and that's a major logic gap in I quit matches, which is one of the many reasons I don't like those type of matches. But bottom line, they made the most of it. I thought it was an entertaining match otherwise. The in-ring action was pretty good, so I can't complain. It's just these little things about the match stipulation themselves just don't make any sense to me, and it makes it hard for me. I'm sorry for that. Makes it hard for me to kind of buy into the stipulation and buy into these type of matches just because they don't really make much sense. After that, a Divas Tag Team match, Naomi and Tamina taking on the Bella Twins. They win. Whatever. Naomi scores the win over the Divas Champion, but it went on to mean nothing because she lost the title match the next night on Raw, and she would lose another title match, Elimination Chamber, and she would never win the championship. So, kind of a waste, but the match itself was what it was. Neville and King Barrett after that, decent match. Neville wins via countout. Barrett comes back and attacks Neville, and then Neville comes back and attacks King Barrett, lays him out with the red arrow. So what was really the point? I know they were maybe trying to protect King Barrett, but he really wasn't protected. He got pinned by fucking R-Truth inside the Elimination Chamber 2 weeks later, so that was a waste of time too. I thought King Barrett winning King of the Ring would do something for his career. I was wrong. The match itself was good. I mean, I thought their Extreme Rules match and the kickoff show was better, but the two have good chemistry, so I enjoyed the match for what it was. The finish, again, was very questionable. And then the main event, undoubtedly the match of the night, Fatal 4-Way match of the WWE World Heavyweight Championship between Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, and Randy Orton. And if Rollins did not retain, Kane would have been fired as the Director of Operations. I completely forgot about that stipulation until I'm looking at it at Wikipedia right now. They didn't make a great, they didn't really make it a huge point to mention that during the course of this match. I mean, Kane did attack Dean Ambrose at one point in the matchup, and they were saying, oh, he's trying to save his job. I thought he was just doing the authorities' bidding, but I guess not. So anyway, I didn't really care about Kane here. What I really enjoyed about the match was not the stipulation, but the match itself. It was kind of a preview of what is to come, I would still say, from the Shield triple threat that we've been asking for almost 2 years at this point, including Randy Orton. And no one better, honestly, to include in that picture than Randy Orton, considering his history with the Shield. I mean, look at this. 2013 Payback, you had Randy Orton and Daniel Bryan versus Shield members Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins, both in this match. Payback 2014, Randy Orton again with Triple H and Batista versus the Shield. And then 2015, he's facing all three members of the Shield in a Fatal 4-Way match. So great continuity there. I know it wasn't intentional, but just the way things played out, I thought it was really, really cool. But anyway, really, really good match. I thought it was a great match from start to finish. Again, a lot like with the Fatal 4-Way match from the Over the Limit 2012 show that I talked about in my last WrestleRant video. There really wasn't a dull moment. We did get that one Shield powerbomb in an awesome spot, one of the best spots of the year. And they team up and they kind of look at each other with hesitation, but they go through it anyway. Ambrose, Rollins, and Reigns all, reunite, albeit for just a moment, to put Orton through a table at ringside with the, patented Shield powerbomb. And then Seth Rollins puts out his arm like, yeah, we did it, guys, we did it. And Dean Ambrose is laughing, and then he goes, stone cold faced or cold stone faced, or has a very stoic look on his face. And then Roman Reigns stops laughing too, and they both look at Rollins, and they take him out by putting him through a table. And then Kane, they powerbomb him on top of Rollins, which was great. And then Reigns and Ambrose kind of did their own thing in the ring for a little while before Orton and Rollins got back in the ring, and they kind of got back into the equation there. So it was a really well-paced Nicely booked matchup from all four guys. The in-ring action was excellent, great storytelling. It really made you think that Rollins, could not escape with the championship. He had to overcome all the odds. Not in a babyface-like way either. And when I say overcome the odds, he had to squirm his way out by pinning, Orton when everyone else was taken out, and Orton had to overcome J&J security. So I thought everything about that was great. And, Orton in the end getting hit with a pedigree from Seth Rollins. I think this might have been the first time he used the pedigree. I think so. I can't remember exactly. I feel like it is or was. I don't really remember. It might have been. It might not have been. I can't really remember. But anyway, so he beats Orton with the pedigree to retain the world championship. So again, like I said before, it's not like, oh, Rollins beats three baby faces. He overcomes the odds. This is why I like him. I mean, this is, he's just exactly what a babyface should be. No, he overcame the odds by trying to not even defy the odds, by trying to escape the odds, by squirming his way out of another title defense with help from J&J Security and Kane. That's why I thought it was really, really good. So, great main event. Overall, an entertaining show. I thought it was better overall than Extreme Rules. I mean, some of the matches on the card didn't really make it the perfect show. I mean, Wyatt and Ryback was not bad by any stretch, but in the long term, which is why I do these pay-per-views a year later, because it's really no point talking about it like the next day. I mean, I do talk about the next day for my immediate reaction on nextwrestling.net, cheap plug, but there's really no purpose in talking about it like the following month on WrestleRant, because not enough time has passed to determine what we saw was, worth it or whatever. So anyway, a year later, that match really served no purpose at all. It wasn't that good of a match where it needed to happen anyway. The Divas Tag Team match was whatever. Neville and Barrett was whatever. Rusev and Cena was good, better than I thought it would be. Not amazing, but still really good. Sheamus and Ziggler, great match. Tag Team title match, great match. And the main event was awesome too. So I thought the good outweighed the bad. Even the bad wasn't awful. Like, it just was either just kind of or it was just kind of there. Nothing really terrible on the show whatsoever. But would I recommend the show? Yeah, I would say check it out. I would say check it out. If anything, just only for the main event. The main event was awesome, but you wouldn't be wasting your time if you watched the show on the whole. I thought it was a pretty enjoyable event on the whole back then, and watching it back just this past weekend. So I give it a thumbs up. Not two thumbs up, but an enjoyable show, and it kicked off a very entertaining summer season for me anyway in WWE. So that is my review of the 2015 Payback pay-per-view as seen on the WWE Network. So as I mentioned earlier at the start of the video, going forward here on WrestleRant, we have our first official theme. I know for the past couple of weeks, for the past month or two, we've been going all over the place. Ever since my Elimination Chamber reviews, we've been going back and forth with fucking, post-WrestleMania Raw reviews and Extreme Rules, Over the Edge, Over the Limit, Payback. So we're finally going to get back on a consistent, track here for the next couple of weeks. And that's only because I reviewed a lot of pay-per-views before this. WrestleRant by this point has been going since March of 2014. And I've already reviewed every WrestleMania, every Rumble, Survivor Series, SummerSlam, Great American Bash for WWE anyway. A lot of those big pay-per-views. Vengeance is one of those last ones with a lot of installments I've yet to tackle. So I'll be talking about that next. And by the way, I will be tackling the In Your House pay-per-views at some point, but I'm saving those for last because there's a lot of them. There's like 20 or something. So I'll be going through all of those probably by year's end or early 2017. We'll see. I know that's a long ways away, but time does fly. Like I said, it's been 2 years since I started doing the WrestleRant videos again, so I never would have imagined I'd still be doing them 2 years later. And it's just amazing to think that time has flown by flew by so fast. But anyway, like I said, going forward, my next video will be covering my review of Vengeance 2001, as seen on the WWE Network. But in the meantime and in between time, you guys can find me on Twitter at WrestleRant, on Facebook at facebook.com/graham.gsm.matthews, and also right here on YouTube by liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing. All your support is amazingly appreciated. So until then, my next video, guys, enjoy the rest of your week and weekend, or whatever it might be when you're listening to this. I'm Graham GSM Matthews, and I'll catch you folks down the road.